Who's getting rich exploiting the 99%? Lloyd Blankfein, CEO, Goldman Sachs. Wealth, $438 million. Goldman Sachs helped trigger the financial crisis by selling mortgage deals designed to lose money. Why? The company secretly bet $10 billion those deals would fail, so it could get rich when the economy tanked. Investors lost billions, yet Lloyd Blankfein has made $138 million over the last 4 years. Goldman Sachs still received $24 billion from the bailout and a staggering $814 billion in assistance from the Federal Reserve. Pete Peterson, co-founder, the Blackstone Group. Wealth, $2 billion. Pete Peterson made his fortune doing corporate takeovers, resulting in layoffs, and is now spending $1 billion on a campaign to slash Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. Peterson is allocating this money to an echo chamber of think tanks and advocates, giving the Americans the false impression that Social Security will soon be insolvent. In fact, the program has accrued a $3 trillion surplus expected to last for at least 30 years. Rob Walton, Chairman, Walmart. Wealth, $21 billion. Rob Walton and the Walton family have more wealth than the bottom 30% of Americans combined. Yet Walmart pays the average sales associate just $8.81 an hour. Walmart workers use an estimated $1 billion in public health care because the company won't provide adequate insurance, even as it generates over $400 billion in annual revenue.
Rupert Murdoch, President, News Corp. Wealth, $7.4 billion. Rupert Murdoch has unprecedented power over the media through an empire that includes Fox News, The Wall Street Journal, and hundreds of other outlets. Murdoch has fostered a culture of corruption involving lying to federal investigators, offering bribes to politicians, and giving right-wing talking points to anchors. Fox News even got a Florida appeals court to rule in 2003 that news can be lies. Need we say more?
Those trying to help the homeless sometimes are targeted by police as well. This video shows activists being arrested for handing out food to transients in Orlando, Florida, one of several American cities where feeding the homeless is outlawed.
Could be you. Most people are 1 or 2 paychecks away from losing their housing, and that's just the truth.
Nationwide, the official unemployment rate is doggedly stuck at over 9%. Many economists, however, claim the real figure is twice that, with many no longer bothering to look for jobs. A record 45 million people are now on food stamps, while food pantries struggle to keep up with demand. And if it weren't for these services, who knows how many people might be on the streets.
And I want you to know, teachers, and I want you to know, students, that the UAW membership and the UAW leadership, we are behind our teachers. I remember hearing a number of years ago a saying that I want to remind us all of. You get in life what you're willing to accept. And I am not willing to accept cuts in the K through 12 education in Michigan. It's wrong. And I want to tell you, one of the things wrong in America is our fault. One of the things wrong is we are not part yet. We're beginning to rebuild it. But if we want justice in America, there has to be a social justice movement where people come out and stand and fight and support each other.
About 700,000 retirees had to make sacrifices on their health care benefits that they had earned. A lot of you saw hours reduced or pay or wages scaled back. You gave up some of your rights as workers. Promises were made to you over the years that you gave up for the sake and survival of this industry, its workers, their families. You want to talk about sacrifice? You made sacrifices. This wasn't an easy thing to do. Let me tell you, I keep on hearing these same folks talk about values all the time. You want to talk about values? Hard work, that's a value. Looking out for one another, that's a value. The idea that we're all in it together and I'm my brother's keeper and sister's keeper, that's a value. They're out there talking about you like you're some special interest that needs to be beaten down. Since when are hard-working men and women who are putting in a hard day's work every day, since when are they special interests? Since when is the idea that we look out for one another a bad thing? You know, I remember my old friend Ted Kennedy. He used to say, what is it about working men and women they find so offensive?
But at the same time, there's challenges. We know that it's not a weekend party, a weekend parlay. It means that we have to be on the job 24/7, working and organizing. Many men and women are here who come from various organizations, who come from labor. We know what has happened to labor. 88% of the workforce is unrepresented. 88%. In a modern society, that's unconscionable. 88% who don't have a way in which they can collect a bargain. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about 45% of the men and women, people who are unemployed, have been unemployed and underemployed for more than 4 years. That's what we're talking about. We have to find something. So it has to be more than just simply jobs, even though we know that labor does its best work when it fights for jobs and better wages and better conditions in the workplace and all the things that it fights. We know that it does that, but it has to be a reimagining and a rethinking of what we mean by democracy. It has to be a reimagining and a rethinking of what we mean by work. It has to be a reimagining and a rethinking about what we need by education and what it means, importantly, what it means to be a human being. What does it mean to be a human being? What does it mean to be a human being in the 21st century? That's what we're talking about. That's what we have to be. That is what we mean, but it's not simply a revolution. It has to be a revolution, an evolution, and transformation. We have to be the change that we want to see.
The UAW is not strong enough to change the world ourselves. The labor movement is not strong enough by ourselves. The only way we win for our membership the social justice that they deserve is if we build these broad coalitions and a new movement for social and economic justice. We need our sisters and brothers in the civil rights movement. We need our sisters in the women's movement. We need our brothers and sisters in the immigrant rights community. We need our brothers and sisters in the LGBT community. We need our sisters and brothers in the environmental community. We have to build. We need our sisters and brothers in the faith community, right? We have got to pull together everybody that really, for some people, it's a spiritual conviction. For some people, it's a moral conviction. But as Walter Reuther talked about, we need to bring everybody that believes in the rights of the individual, that believes that everybody is born of God, that everybody has, as Sister Simone said, has a piece of God within them. I believe that, and it's our responsibility, those of us who have more, to help and reach down to those who have less, and to make sure that every human being has got basic human rights, that every human being has got respect, that every child in America gets a decent education and an opportunity to contribute to make America greater.
When the union's inspiration through the workers' blood shall run, there can be no power greater anywhere beneath the sun. Yet what force on earth is weaker than the feeble strength of one? But the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong. Is there aught we hold in common with the greedy parasite who would lash us into serfdom and would crush us with his might? Is there anything left to us but to organize and fight? For the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. It is we who plowed the prairies, built the cities where they trade, dug the mines and built the workshops, endless miles of railroad laid. We stand outcast and starve amidst the wonders we have made, but the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. All the world that's owned by idle drones is ours and ours alone. We have laid the wide foundation, built it skyward stone by stone. It is ours not to slave in, but to master and to own, while the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever.